we'd like to show you just how easy it is to mix up safe paint for walls. Safe paint is packaged in powder form to make a pint, a quart, or a gallon of paint once water is added to the powder. It's very simple to use, but before you begin, just be sure to read the enclosed instruction sheet that's found inside every package of safe paint. This instruction sheet can also be found in the Safe Paint product bulletin included with your milk paint brochure or at milkpaint.com. We're going to start off by mixing up a pint of paint. So take a pint package and open it up, and we're going to take out the inner pouch. See, here's that instruction sheet I was telling you about. Very important to read this, both for surface preparation and for mixing tips. We're going to cut open the top of the pouch with a pair of scissors. And to make a pint, we're going to use about a cup of water. And we're going to start off by adding just a third of that water into our container. It should be at room temperature. So take about a third of a cup. And now we're going to be ready to begin. The nice thing about using safe paint is that you can use ordinary kitchen tools to mix up the paint. I'm going to use an ordinary electric kitchen mixer, hand mixer, but you can also use a stick blender or immersion blender, or for larger amounts, you can use a paint paddle on a drill and a bucket. Now we're ready to begin. So, I have water in my container and I'm going to start adding powder. So we'll put approximately a third of the powder in the container with the water. And before I begin mixing with my mixer, I'm going to use a rubber spatula and mix it just a little bit by hand just to get the material wet. You can use a spoon, you can use a paint stick, whatever you want. Just get the material a little bit wet. And then we can start mixing. We're going to start mixing at low speed. Mix it up a little bit, and then add a little bit more water. And again, a little more powder. Go ahead and use your spatula again. And mixer. Okay, now for the rest of the water and the rest of the powder. Just like making a cake, you're stirring up the batter, and mix it slowly first, and then we're going to increase the speed. Just going to scrape the edges again, just a little bit here. The rest of my powder off with a spatula. And here we go. Now, this amount of water is really just a jumping off point. This paint tends to thicken a bit as it stands, especially in the first half hour or so after you've mixed it. So it's okay to go ahead and add just a little bit more water if you need to. You don't want it too thin because then you won't get as good coverage, but you want it to be the consistency of any regular paint you're used to using. So feel free to add just a little bit more water if you need to. Again, you really can't mix it up too long. 4 or 5 minutes on high speed at least. When you're done, it should really just be nice and creamy and smooth. It should just look like ordinary paint that you're maybe used to using, although it's better. Now you're ready to paint. Just beautiful. Safe paint can be applied just like any conventional paint with a brush, a roller, or a sprayer, and cleanup is simple with soap and water. Also, it's best to mix up fresh just what you plan to use that day. Any unused powder can be stored indefinitely in an airtight container, such as a glass jar. If you have any questions before using our paint or while using it, please be sure to give us a call or email us. We're happy to help. And please be sure to read the instructions before you begin. Thanks.